All right, look, I know a lot of you out there actually believe that alt season isn't coming. As a matter of fact, a lot of experts are saying that alt season will not come. Well, some are saying it will come, then they say the next day it won't come, then they say it's going to come again. They really can't make up their minds. But I'm here to tell you that alt season is going to come, and it will more than likely be a selective alt season. Now, I already called mini alt seasons in 2023, 2024 when people were expecting a full-blown alt season. Now I'm calling for a selective alt season. With that said, what do I mean by a selective alt season, and what does that have to do with AI coins that I have on the title of this video? Well, it's very simple. Select cryptocurrencies, select altcoins are going to run more than the rest. But even if we get a full-blown alt season, these coins that I'm going to talk to you about are going to run more. And in this video, we're going to concentrate on AI coins, AI cryptocurrencies, which I believe are going to outperform most of the market. Now, we called AI in the previous bull market, in the previous cycle, that it will be the narrative for this cycle, when everybody was talking about gaming. Even in the beginning of this cycle, everybody was talking about gaming. We were talking about AI coins. Now, I'm here to tell you, they're gonna run again, but you have to know which ones to get into. That's what we're gonna be talking about in this video. It's not gonna be edited. I'm not gonna go do retention editing or B-rolls or this and that. I'm just gonna get straight to the point and talk to you one-on-one. Okay, I'm gonna be drinking my coffee here, which has MCT oil, which is unfortunately almost finished, but I'm just gonna talk to you about it because I'm really tired of all these tricks and retention editing and AI editing and all this. Now, we're gonna do this raw. And I don't mean sexually, okay? Don't get the wrong idea. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actually doing this like this, okay? So let's get straight into it. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So look, I'm gonna use crypto bubbles for this video. Most of the coins we're talking about are gonna be on crypto bubbles. I have different categories here, but ignore them because I have to fix them. But this is what we're gonna be using. And I wanna talk to you about AI coins. And the first AI coins, well the first thing we have to look at is there's two different types of AI coins, okay? There's AI agents, which is a narrative within a narrative. And there are AI coins, which we'll get into a little bit later, that are not AI agents, but most people are missing these coins. But these coins are really gonna run towards the end of the selective alt season. So we really need to touch on those. Plus, I'm gonna tell you which coins I'm more into capital-wise, so you can understand my train of thought and which ones I'm not necessarily more bullish on, but which ones I'm more comfortable to be in. So make sure you watch till the end of the video. I know it's gonna be hard because no retention editing and no, no taking out the fluff and all that. No, it's gonna be raw like this. Just in this day with TikTok brained, how can I call this? A famine of TikTok brainness where people can't pay attention. The ones of you that will pay attention, you that will pay attention, because I know you're smart because you watch this channel, you're gonna get the most out of this video, okay? So let's start with virtuals. And I have talked about virtuals quite a few times, up 6.8% on the day, down 8% on the week. You can actually see it's holding up very strong. And on the year, it's already done what? A 10x. So this is doing very well. You can see the peak up here, came down, formed this like sort of, well, it was going to be a cup. I have to zoom in to see if it's a cup and handle or not, but came back up here and now is looking very good. Now, here's the thing with virtuals. Virtuals has a few things going for it. Number one, it's on Base, okay? So it's a chain play. It's based by Coinbase, and when retail comes in, when new people come in, likely they will move to Base, and guess what? Virtuals on there. Second of all, it's kind of like the blue chip of AI agents on Base, because all AI agents are, or most of them are, on virtuals. The third, so you have a trend stack there, right? You have Base, you have AI agent blue chip, And you also have them reloaded. What do I mean by reloaded? When everyone was scamming you, pump from so on, snipers, this, that, Virtual was trying to find a solution for this. I just looked to see if this was recording, by the way, because I did this video yesterday and I didn't push record. I have to do it again. But anyway, regardless, I digress. Virtuals actually made a point system to get rid of snipers, get rid of scammers. And you can actually get points just by holding virtuals. As a matter of fact, if you stake it, you could also get airdrops, that's beside the point. But just by holding virtuals, you get points. You get points by also trading on the virtual platform. You also get points for staking Vader. Now, that's interesting. Why Vader? So if I'm making a portfolio of AI agents and I want to play on chains, but I want a blue chip and a high-risk coin, well, it just makes sense to use Vader because, look, Virtuals picked or selected Vader, not the other coins. So that's why I'm holding Virtuals, but I'm also holding Vader. And if we quickly come to my other folder over here, because I'm disorganized and I should have done this before the video, but doesn't matter, we can look at Vader here and look, 6.3% up on a day, 21% up on a week. And yes, these are volatile, but they're actually doing very well. So for my base chain picks, which is one of the chains I'm looking at for AI agents, we have Virtuals, we have Vader, and I'm also holding Luna, the original one, which I called right in the beginning. I'm actually holding Luna as well. So those are my blue chip, medium risk or medium high risk in this case, and very high risk, if that makes sense. Now, we want to do this on different chains. We want to do this also on competing chains with AI agents. So the next chain we're looking at is Salana. And for the Solana chain, I'm looking at AI16Z, down on the monthly, but the weekly and the daily looking good over here. And AI16Z is just a standard right now when it comes to AI agents. By the way, I'm also holding Colin. So for Solana, we're holding AI16Z and Colin, a little bit of Top Hat as well, just so you know. So now we have our base AI agents. We have our Solana AI agents. Now we have to look at some other chains, and we're gonna go a little bit lower here because most action is on base and Solana, but we have to look at other chains that may actually pop up out of nowhere once this narrative hits. Does that make sense? So let's move on and let's talk about the BNB chain. And for BNB, I'm looking at Cookie. Now, I called Cookie when everybody was going crazy with AI agents, when it was right on the lows, no one was paying attention. I said, listen, other competing chains are gonna come in play, and I'm telling you to get into Cookie and AI malls. I think it was another one as well, but Cookie did very well. So I'm holding a very big position of Cookie because I believe that will do extremely well, and that's your bet on BNB chain. Right? Does that make sense? And that's pretty much the only thing I'm holding that I remember off my head on BNB. I may be holding some other coins. I think one's AI malls. Can't remember if I'm still holding that or not. But right now, I just want to make sure I have some sort of exposure to each chain when it comes to AI agents. We haven't gone into AI yet. We're gonna get into AI in a bit. I'm actually differentiating the two over here because AI might take off, agents may take off, but they're both a narrative within a narrative, okay? So we have base, we have Solana, we have BNB. What about Sui? Because Sui is also doing very well, at least when it comes to their coins over here, right? So to their actual coins. So Sui, I actually believe, is going to do a Solana type move. I think they're going to try and take market share, or they will take market share from Solana, not meaning that Solana will go down or not do well. I just think Sui will do very well. So it makes sense to also have an AI agent play when it comes to Sui. Now, I'm also holding Deepbook and Walrus on Sui, but this is an AI video, an AI coin video. And for that, I'm holding Sui. I'm holding Sui AI. Now, it may not be doing well. I think it's down over 90% at this point. but I am holding that. And yes, I admit I lost on that, and I actually made some more positions, which I'm actually in the red right now. There's another one called Osiris. But you don't need to get in heavily in the ecosystem, because first of all, holding SUI on its own at this point, if AI agents actually take off, or when they take off, SUI will also benefit as the chain cryptocurrency, okay? So you can just hold SUI, but get a couple of AI agents on SUI just in case. One, again, is SUI AI, and you can also check out some other plays over there. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at AI agents. Let me just check if I missed anything. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at with AI agents. Now let's move on to AI. And there are some cryptocurrencies or some altcoins that have been sticking out when it comes to AI. One of them, and this is going to sound controversial, you're going to be like, Paul, what are you talking about? But listen to me here, pay attention, is Fetch, or ASI. And I know the price really does not look that good, but it is getting traction lately. And I did say that we probably met the bottom, we're going up here again. And once people realize that AI is not just about AI agents, they're going to start looking for other AI plays. Now, when it comes to ASI, which is Fetch, this is actually a merge of three currencies: Fetch, Ocean Protocol, and Ajax. And we called Ajax right in the beginning, by the way, as well as Fetch, and we did well, but it's lately it's been coming down. But as they are building in the background, getting in partnerships, forming alliances, I think the big money, if they will go into something like Fetch before other coins. Does that make sense? So Fetch is still a blue chip in my opinion, and should be part of your AI portfolio. So if Fetch is your blue chip, what's some ecosystem plays? And yes, I realize there are other plays like Tau and so on, Bitenzer, but I'm just telling you what I'm holding here. One of them is PAL, and I do believe PAL is going to make a comeback, down 79% on the yearly here, but look, it's starting to make some traction over here, and once AI takes off, PAL, I think, is going to do pretty well. If anything, just hyper narrative driven when AI starts coming up. So PAL is another one I'm holding. AI Oz, also another one I'm holding. Looking red, but I do believe AI Oz will make a comeback where no one's expecting it. So AI Oz, as well as PAL, is part of my AI portfolio. And look, not all of these coins need to do well. Now, towards the end of the bull market, if we indeed have a selective alt season or even a full-blown alt season, we'll see which one of the two goes down. But we're safer with a selective alt season, because either way, they're going to go up, or more likely to go up. You have to understand that everything is probably going to pump. But a lot of these may not pump as much, and a lot of them may pump less. A lot of them may go into the red. That's why we're trying to hold a gamma of altcoins. I don't care if one or two of them from these altcoins, or the ones I'm about to mention, will go down to oblivion, as long as one or two go up to Valhalla. If that makes sense, it will offset. You can't get everything right. It's very hard to pick the absolute best cryptocurrency. So we want a portfolio-like structure. Does that make sense? And with that said, another coin that I'm holding when it comes to AI is AI Tech, or Solidus. Now, this doing very well here on price action. You have to understand, I was probably the first influencer, if not one of the first influencers, to call AI Tech. This was in the previous bull market when it first came out. I was saying this is gonna run, get in for the next bull market. It's gonna be the narrative. As well as Vader, when it went up, we converted that to Fetch and so on. And I think AI Tech, or I believe AI Tech, will make a huge comeback. So that's another one I'm holding, and that's basically a good portfolio, or a good AI portfolio. Now, bear with me, because I'm going to get into which ones I have more capital in and why. Render, I consider it deep in, but is also a good AI play, and there are other AI plays out there, but if I just name them all, it's really not going to be much benefit to you, okay? So this is what I'm holding. I'm also holding some Chain GPT, just so you know. Some Chain GPT. Price is not looking that well, but I do have some left over, so you could also park a small capital in there. But this is the basis of my AI crypto portfolio, and I do believe you should be holding some of these, if not all of these, depending on your capital, so you can actually benefit. Now you might be saying, a lot of people might be saying, well, what about Beam? Well, Beam I'm holding, but I'm considering it gaming, and I'm mostly holding the nodes so I can get rewards. So everybody is different, understand that, but let's talk a little bit about which ones I'm holding more of. And the number one I'm holding more of is virtuals. I've been taking profits into virtuals, or even getting out of underperforming cryptocurrencies and getting into virtuals. Now, a lot of people tell me, Paul, what are you talking about, profits? When everyone's losing, I'm losing so much. Yeah. Well, number one, you're in the wrong altcoins. And because we're actually doing very well. And number two, I was saying take profits from altcoins into Bitcoin in December and January. And a lot of times in live streams, when I tell you to take profits or to convert, you just, a lot of you don't listen. Listen, I'm trying to help you here. These are free videos trying to give you as much alpha as I can. Am I perfect? No, obviously I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to do the best I can for you. So anyway, you don't have to follow me exactly. Obviously it's not financial advice. Obviously I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my opinion, and I am holding these cryptocurrencies that I'm mentioning in this video at the time I'm making this video. Now Render, I currently got out of Render as an example to get back in later on, because I actually made a bigger play into virtuals on the dump, and it's already benefited me. And I will get back into Render later on, but see what I mean here. I'm just letting you know you can't follow me exactly. You have to do a bit of your own research and see what your style and why you're doing it for you, and you get what I mean. Now, let's move on. If you understand, by the way, do me a favor, please hit the like button. Hit that like button. It looks like this. Just hit it. Just hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. So virtuals is a very strong position I'm holding, a very high capital. Cookie is the next, right? I'm also holding Cookie. And then comes Fetch, AI16Z, and so on. If you notice, I'm holding much more capital in these coins than my other coins. Why? Because the rest are kind of more like moonshots. And even though I believe they can outperform and do more, I want to also be safe. I want to look at sustainability factors. In other words, when a coin goes up, will it sustain that upside? The other ones are very volatile. I don't want to be on the charts every day, all day long, trading these. I'm just holding these. And yes, I do trade. We'll talk about that in a second. But I'm just holding these in my portfolio. So there's certain coins that I believe will do less of a pump, that I'm having more capital in, but at the same time, I feel safer, and I feel that these will do that run regardless, if that makes sense. So the other ones might not work out. And again, I don't care if they don't, because the ones over here are the ones I want them to run. So again, virtuals, Cookie, AI16Z, Fetch, these are the ones I'm mostly in. I also have a lot of AIRs. I really believe AIRs is gonna do very well. The rest I have smaller amounts. You need to be able to mold your portfolio the way you see fit for you and your style. Now, something very important I need to talk to you about. There are a lot of myths out there. There are a lot of myths in crypto that are getting you wrecked and keeping you poor. And the worst part is that even experts, so-called experts and gurus, are parroting these myths. They're just stupid myths that just don't make sense. For example, always buy in the bear market. The best time to buy in the bear is a bear market. No, it's not. It's just not. I know that sounds crazy, but it's not. It's as you're coming out of a bear market. Or you hear a lot of influencers say, oh, TA works or TA doesn't work, or a lot of people, and it's very confusing. So, number one, I made a free webinar for you, a free webinar that you can watch that actually busts these myths that are keeping you poor. It's a free webinar. At the end of the webinar, I'll pitch you a service or product. You don't have to buy it. I'm just being very transparent here. But at the end of the webinar, I'll tell you an offer. If you want to take it, great. If you don't. Either way, it's free. Okay, you'll get a couple of emails reminding you to watch the webinar and maybe buy the product, and that's it. Then you're out of the list. Full transparency. That's just the way I work and the way I make money as well. I trade, I keep my money in crypto, but I also make money over here. But again, you don't have to buy anything. And the second thing is, I want to talk to you a little bit about technical analysis. So either sign up to that myth-busting seminar, webinar, I'll leave it right here, linked here, and in the description down below, obviously, or make sure you check out this video right here so I can talk to you a little bit about technical analysis and how it can work for you in crypto, because a lot of people are getting this wrong. So check out the video. I'll see you in the next one.